This is the content that we are going to discuss today. I have tried to cover 4 main topics. It will consist of discussion on having a discussion on IIBA, the International Institute of Business Analysis, and then the BABOK. We can call it BABOK as well. Then we are going to discuss the important concepts related to business analysis. Then we will discuss the business analysis qualification scheme. And finally, we are going to discuss that whether you should have this training and certification and how it can be beneficial for you in your careers as well. But before I formally begin my session, let me introduce myself. I am Syed Nabil Iqbal, and I am your session facilitator for today. Currently, I'm working for Business Beam Private Limited and heading its advisory function as Director Advisory Services. I am actually an IT GRC lead consultant, lead trainer, and lead auditor. And you all must be knowing that GRC, it is governance, risk, and compliance. It covers all the domains. Okay, the other participants are also joining in. Okay, I have more than 15 years of industry experience. I have been into the consulting and the training industry for the last 10 years or so, and overall a professional experience of more than 15 years. I first did my master's in commerce and business administration, but once I landed into this consulting and training industry, I did multiple certifications, and today, alhamdulillah, I have more than 17 global certifications, including COBIT, ITIL, CBAP, ISO 27001, ISO 22301, 2731, and project management certifications as well. I have an extensive local and international experience of managing and delivering 40 plus consulting projects in Pakistan, Dubai, Oman, and Saudi Arabia. And I am an internationally accredited trainer and ATO for more than 15 standards and frameworks, including CBAP, ISO 27001, COBIT, ITIL, ISO 22301, CISM, SIGAIT, etc. And as a trainer, I have successfully conducted more than 150 training sessions, again in Pakistan, Oman, Dubai, and Saudi Arabia. And so far, more than 2,500 participants have attended my sessions, and they have attended my trainings. This is a bit about myself as a course facilitator. And now I would like to introduce you with the Business Beam and the Learning Cert. Business Beam, we are an expert consulting and training organization. Alhamdulillah, we are an established brand as far as these two services are concerned. We are operating in the industry since 2004, and slowly and gradually we have established ourselves as a leading name as far as the IT GRC consulting and training services are concerned. We have our head office in Karachi, but we are based in Dubai, Houston, Riyadh, and Oman as well. And so far we have successfully completed more than 160 consulting assignments and more than 1,100 training assignments. Again, since our areas of operations have been primarily Pakistan, Oman, Saudi Arabia, and Dubai. So we have conducted these sessions and the consulting assignments in these countries. Recently, we have collaborated with Learning Cert. Learning Cert is actually our training partner, and is actually is now about to launch itself as a specialized training and skills development firm. Learning Cert is about to launch very soon, and currently it is managing Business Beam's entire training portfolio, and hopefully it will be launching the trainings and the training services on behalf of other leading clients and trainers as well. It is specialized. It is evolving itself into a specialized, I would say, a training firm. Where to provide you classroom, virtual, instructor-led, self-paced e-learning and corporate training solutions. And we have been working with Learning Cert for quite some time now, and in the recent past we have launched a number of training sessions through its platform. So today the session which we are having is a joint collaboration between Business Beam and Learning Cert. Okay, this is all about the introductory session. I hope I'm audible to all my participants. Please let me know if anyone of you couldn't hear me. Hello.
It's fine. We can hear you, Nabeel.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. My other participants, please let me know if you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. Great. Fine. Okay. May I know how many of you can, obviously, since I have started the session in English, because I observed that some of international participants are also here. So should we continue in English, or can we have a mix of English and Urdu?
I don't know Urdu. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. No problem. That's why I started off in English. Okay. Fine. Perfect. Okay, so we will have this session in English because our audience from some other countries are also here. So, okay, no problem. Right. Now, let's continue with the topics which we will cover. As I told you in the beginning, that we will cover 4 topics. So the first topic that we will discuss is about IIBA and BABOK, the business analysis body of knowledge. As you might have heard about ISACA, you might have heard about PMI, you might have heard about Excelos. ISACA is mainly popular for its certifications like COBIT, CISM, C-Guide, etc. Similarly, PMI is mainly known for its project management framework. Excelos is mainly known for service management framework like ITIL, project management, Prince2, etc. Similarly, we have another international institute, which is IIBA. This International Institute of Business Analysis specializes in business analysis function. I would say the business analysis field. This IIBA, it is actually a Canadian-based firm which was founded in October 2003. It's basically a non-profit professional association and is primarily dedicated to the field of business analysis. So as we have ISACA, we have PMI, we have Excelos. Similarly, we have IIBA as the owner of this business analysis body of knowledge. The business model of IIBA is quite similar to the business model which is being adopted by ISACA, PMI, Excelos, and others. It is also working through a global network, and it has more than 29,000 members from worldwide, and consists of 300 corporate members as well, and is operating mainly through its chapters, its local chapters. Although it is based in Canada, but it has local chapters in other principal countries as well. Unfortunately, we do not have any IIBA chapter here in Pakistan, but IIBA has its chapters in countries like Dubai, in Saudi Arabia, and of course in Europe and US as well. So this International Institute of Business Analysis is actually the owner of this CBAP certification as well. And when we say CBAP, obviously the business analysis body of knowledge, the BABOK, is also owned by IIBA. It is operating through its members, which are available worldwide. This IIBA has published a body of knowledge which is known as BABOK, Business Analysis Body of Knowledge. And this business analysis body of knowledge is basically it's actually a globally recognized standard for the practice of business analysis, which means that it has published a standard which helps all the business analysts worldwide to adopt a common set of practices for performing their business analysis work. So basically, as we have ITIL, as we have COBIT, as we have PMP, PRINCE2, and all the other leading frameworks. Similarly, we have a formal standard for business analysis, which we call BABOK or BABOK, the business analysis of the business analysis body of knowledge. And as I told you that it is owned by IIBA. This BABOK guide, it actually describes business analysis knowledge areas, the tasks, the underlying competencies, the techniques and perspectives on how we as business analysts can approach our business analysis work. Why this BABOK is here? Why do we need this BABOK? It's very important to understand that this BABOK is primarily to help us, to guide us, and to provide us a common set of practices so that the business analyst community all over the world can speak a common language, can follow the same set of practices, and can help in improving their existing business analysis practices by following the globally recognized, internationally accepted work practices which are published in this BABOK. Primarily, this BABOK, it helps the practitioners as well as the individuals. It helps the practitioners, as I said, that it helps to define the skills, the competencies, to develop the knowledge so that all the business analysis work can be effectively performed. And all the business analysts worldwide can perform their business analysis work in a more consistent manner and in the best way possible. So basically, all the business analysts who are working, whether in banks, whether in telcos, whether in software houses, whether in IT firms, they do require a common structure. They do require a common framework which can help us in improving their work practices and to overall improve their entire business analysis function. So there was a need that we should have a common framework as we have in other domains. So this IIBA has played a very significant role and has given us this BABOK. And this BABOK is now considered to be a universally accepted business analysis guide. And it is helping the practitioners, as I said, to follow it and to further improve the business analysis work. And it is also helping the people who are actually working with the business analyst to understand the skills and the knowledge which is actually expected from the business analysts. So primarily, this BABOK, you can say it is serving as a guide, as a framework, as a standard for the business analysis practitioners for conducting their business analysis work. The structure of this BABOK is it consists of three major sections, I would say. The BABOK is based on the knowledge areas. It describes the knowledge areas which helps the business analyst to understand that what kind of knowledge is expected from them in order to be a good business analyst. So this the knowledge areas are organized in this BABOK structure in a way that these knowledge areas are further segregated into a set of related tasks. It means that first of all, we have the knowledge areas, and then the knowledge areas, they have been further divided into related tasks. And these related tasks, they are logically organized, but they are not sequential by all means. So it means that it describes the tasks which are to be performed by the business analyst under different knowledge areas. And then these tasks, they have been further described into specific activities, which we call the tasks, which means that the tasks, they actually describe the specific activities that help the business analyst to accomplish the purpose of their associated knowledge area. So when we will study this BABOK or BABOK, what we will see structure wise, we will see that this BABOK describes the knowledge areas. The knowledge areas, they are further mapped with a collection of logically sequenced tasks. And then these tasks, they have been further mapped along with the activities that have to be performed. So it means that in order to read this BABOK, we need to understand the knowledge areas, then we need to understand the tasks which are to be performed under each knowledge area. And then we have to understand the activities that would be required to be executed in order to perform the task so that we can achieve the full objective of the knowledge area. The structure is somewhat related to the PMP. Those of you who might have the PMP certification must be well aware of the structure, that the PMP is also designed in a way that there are some knowledge areas. Then these knowledge areas, they are mapped with tasks, and then these tasks, they are further mapped with the activities. Similarly, this BABOK is also following the same structure. It has some knowledge areas, then it has the tasks, and then it has the activities. It means that in order to understand the business analysis from a BABOK perspective, we have to understand the knowledge areas, we have to understand the tasks, and then we have to understand the specific activities as well, which are available in this publication. In order to further elaborate these concepts, that is the knowledge area, the task, and the activities, this BABOK also provides us a business analysis key concept model. It also elaborates on the underlying competencies required by the business analysts. It also throws light on the techniques and the perspectives which helps us to understand not only how the business analysis work is supposed to be performed, but it also helps us to understand that what are the expectations of the BABOK in terms of the competencies of the business analyst, in terms of the techniques which have to be used while performing the business analysis work, and obviously there's different perspectives from which the business analysts have to look at their work or have to organize their work. As far as the examination perspective is concerned, at this point I would like to make it very clear that the CBAP exam, it does not cover the business analysis key concepts, competencies, techniques, and the perspectives. They are actually the extended sections of this publication, but the knowledge on these 4 topics is not tested during the exam. So we have to be very clear that while going through this BABOK and preparing for the CBAP exam, we have to concentrate more on the knowledge area, the tasks, and the activities. But we need to understand the key concepts, the competencies, the techniques, and the perspectives as well. But the knowledge on these 4 topics is not going to be tested. The knowledge would be tested on the knowledge area, tasks, and the activities. Okay. Now, let's move on to the second topic, which is the important concepts of business analysis. First of all, we need to understand what business analysis is. Okay, may I request any one of you who could just give me a brief definition of your understanding about business analysis? Any one of you, please feel free to share your thoughts with me. Any one of you. What do you understand? What is business analysis?
Yeah, so I can add on my understanding of business analysis. So business analysis is actually the extract of what actually the business requires, and ensuring that whatever the business requirements are fully interpreted or translated into rational requirements in a sense, so that the technical teams understands it and delivers what is required by the business as a deliverable.
Correct, absolutely correct. Mr. Humayun Mustafa, am I right? If I'm not,
yep.
If I'm not,
yeah.
Yes, Mr. Mustafa, you are absolutely right. Business analysis is all about enabling a change in an enterprise. Actually, the reason that I asked you this question is that when I usually communicate with the business analysis, with the business analyst, or when we usually have a discussion over business analysis as a function, I have observed that most of the people have have confined the concept of business analysis to software development only, or to the IT perspective only. Most of the people think that a person or an individual who is supposed to gather information from the customer within the organization, translate that requirement into a usable form and give it to the software development team is actually a business analyst. This is obviously a very limited context of the business analysis function or the business analyst role. As Mr. Mustafa said, yes, business analysis is much bigger than what we normally see in the organizations and what we normally see people actually doing. Business analysis is actually a complete practice. It helps the enterprise to bring a change, and bring a change in a way that all the requirements, the needs, and the recommendations for a change, they are thoroughly examined. They are thoroughly verified through a formal process, and then the solutions which are designed or which are deployed, they are deployed in order to deliver value to the stakeholders. So it means that the business analysis is actually a practice that helps the organizations to enable a change by defining the needs, by defining the requirements in a more formal manner, and recommending the solutions that helps in delivering value to the stakeholders. So it means that when we are talking about business analysis, we are not talking about only a change in a software, or maybe in an ERP, or maybe designing a new business application, a mobile application, and that's all. No, business analysis has a much wider scope, and it covers the enterprise as a whole. It actually helps the enterprises to articulate the needs and the rationale for the change. That is very important to understand, that a change can be could be of any type. It can be a strategic level change. It could be a tactical level change. Could be an operational level change. So any type of the change is covered under the scope of business analysis, and thus we can say that any change which is meant to deliver value to the enterprise as a whole comes under the lens of the business analysis and the business analysis function. So there are two main things that we need to remember: that business analysis starts with an idea of a change and ends at delivering value to the stakeholders. Okay, when we talk about business analysis, obviously we find a role which is business analyst. The business analyst is actually a dedicated role. We need to remember another thing, that business analyst is actually a role where it's not mandatory to have it as a designation or as a title. So the BABOK, it describes business analyst as a role, and it says that the business analyst is actually responsible for discovering, for synthesizing and analyzing the information from a variety of sources within an enterprise, including the tools, the processes, documentation, and the stakeholders. And it is responsible for eliciting the actual needs of the stakeholders and to convert them into solutions which may provide value to the enterprises. So it means that the business analyst is a role which is responsible to collect requirements from its customers, or to understand the need and requirement of a change which an enterprise is willing to have, understand that why this change is actually needed through a formal process, whether it is by using certain tools, by reviewing the processes, by reviewing the documentation, by collaborating with the stakeholders. It has to follow a formal process, the business analyst, and has to understand these requirements, and to collaborate with the respective teams to design a solution which may deliver value to the organizations. So it means that the business analyst is mainly the facilitator to execute the entire business analysis function. Now, when we say the business analyst is actually executing the business analysis function, we need to understand that this business analyst need to have an understanding of various knowledge areas, and which the BABOK says are the 6 knowledge areas of business analysis function. So these knowledge areas, they are business analysis, planning and monitoring, strategy analysis, requirements analysis and design definition, requirements lifecycle management, solution evaluation, elicitation, and collaboration. So in the previous definition, where I told you that the business analyst has to use a formal process, it means that the business analyst has to use these knowledge areas starting from business analysis, planning, and monitoring till evaluation of the solution in a way that the requirement for a change is well understood. This requirement is converted into a design. This design is converted into a formal solution. This solution is formally deployed, and then this solution is formally evaluated to find out that whether the desired value has been delivered or not. So these are the knowledge areas which actually helps the business analyst to perform the tasks which are expected by BABOK that it must be performing. Now, these knowledge areas, as I told you a bit earlier, that these knowledge areas, they are further divided into various perspectives and the underlying competencies. First, we need to understand that the business analyst need to have an idea about the various perspectives through which it has to see these solution designing. That is, the requirement coming from the customers. It may be related to IT, it may be related to business architecture, it may be related to business processes, it could be anything. So the business analysts need to have an understanding, need to have an expertise that the requirement which is coming from the customers, from which perspective it has to see these requirements and has to understand these requirements, and so that the solution designing can be done accordingly. So these perspectives, according to BABOK, it actually provides a lens through which the business analysis practitioner has to view the work based on the context of the requirement coming from the customers. And there are various perspectives which have been described in this BABOK. It includes the agile perspective, it includes business intelligence perspective, the information technology perspective, the business architecture, and the business process management perspectives. Now, these perspectives, they have been described into a separate chapter in this BABOK. But as I told you earlier, that the knowledge on these perspectives, they are not tested in this CBAP exam. Now, these perspectives, if you look at them, they are specialized domains. Like agile is a specialized domain and it's becoming very popular these days. Then business intelligence itself is a very huge domain. Similarly, the information technology, the business architecture, and the business process management, these are separate domains. So we are not assuming that the business analyst would be a subject matter expert of all these domains. Rather, the BABOK emphasizes on the fact that if the business analysis work is supposed to look in from different perspectives, then at least the business analysis work has to be seen from a subject matter expert's perspective, which the business analyst may not be presenting at that point of time. But there is always a possibility of collaborating with different subject matter experts on agile, business intelligence, etc., so that the solution which is to be designed shall meet these expectations of the customers, irrespective of the fact that they are related to agile, business intelligence, or information technology. So the primary purpose of these perspectives is to understand that the business analysis may require an extended set of knowledge, and that is why the IIBA has recently launched some specialized certifications in these areas as well. And it is in the phase of launching some new certifications within 2020 and 2021 as well. So what I'm trying to establish over here is that from a definition perspective, the perspectives in the BABOK describes and throws light on the different context that the business analyst has to understand while collaborating with the customers, understanding the requirements, and then converting them into the formidable solutions. The underlying competencies, according to BABOK, the underlying competencies, they reflect the knowledge, the skills, the behaviors, the characteristics, and the personal qualities that are required by the business analyst. So there is a specific set of underlying competencies which have been described in this BABOK. and it helps us to understand as a business analyst. It helps to understand that what knowledge, skills, behavior, and the characteristics are expected from us in this specialized domain, and how does this BABOK looks after it. There is a prescribed structure which is available there in the BABOK guide, and the structure of this of all underlying competencies is designed as purpose, definition, and effectiveness measures. So all these details, they are also provided in the BABOK. Now, the techniques, it's very important. Techniques is one of the very important components of this BABOK guide, because it provides a complete guideline that how a particular business analysis task and activity should be performed. So there are various activities, almost 40 techniques. There are almost 40 techniques which have been described in this BABOK, and the primary purpose of these techniques is to help. Yes, the primary purpose of including these techniques is to provide sufficient knowledge and sufficient guidance and sufficient help to the business analyst that yes, they can, that in order to execute a particular business analysis task and business analysis activity, which techniques are more suitable and which techniques are to be used by the business analyst. So as I said, that almost 40 techniques have been described, and they are included in this BABOK guide, which are discussed in detail during the CBAP certification training as well. Again, these techniques also have a specific structure, and this structure consists of a description on the purpose, on the description, the elements, and the usage considerations, which are discussed, as I said, which are discussed in detail during the training. Okay, other than these techniques, there is a description of all the knowledge areas. Let me get back to the knowledge area slide for a more, yes, the knowledge areas. The BABOK also describes all these knowledge areas in detail. That is, these 6 knowledge areas, all the tasks which are to be performed, the activities to be performed, they are described as a separate chapter. So there are 9 chapters in all, and these 9 chapters, they consist of 6 knowledge areas, 1 chapter on techniques, 1 chapter on underlying competencies, and 1 chapter on perspectives. So in all, there are 9 chapters, and all these 9 chapters together, they make this BABOK as a complete guide for the business analyst. Okay. Having said this, since this is only a brief session which we have arranged for you guys in order to have to give you a glimpse of the training, the glimpse of the content which is going to be discussed during the upcoming CBAP session. So let me tell you that all these definitions, all these knowledge areas, these underlying competencies, the techniques, these perspectives, they will be discussed in detail in the CBAP training. So this is only since, as I said, that this is only a brief session. That is why I'm just giving you a glimpse of the content that we will cover in the CBAP training as well. So the CBAP training is primarily designed in a way that it is actually a 4 days full day session, full day training, in which we are going to cover the structure of the BABOK, the 6 knowledge areas of BABOK, the techniques, the underlying competencies, the perspectives, and all the necessary details which are essentially covered for the sake of attending the exam as well. So all this content is going to be discussed in detail as per the BABOK publication in the CBAP training. Now, the CBAP qualification roadmap. The core certifications in business analysis currently offered by IIBA, they consist of ECBA, the entry certificate in business analysis. Then there is one CCBA, the certification of capability in business analysis. And then there is CBAP, the certified business analysis professional. Other than these core certifications, there are 3 other certifications which are currently being offered by IIBA, but they are specialized certifications. One certification is a specialized certification in Agile. One certification is another one is in cybersecurity, and the third one is in data analytics. But these are specialized trainings, or you can say that they are the extended certifications which you can opt after doing the CCBA or CBAP. As we were discussing in the perspectives, the Agile, Business Intelligence, and etc. And I told you that specialized certifications are available. These 3 certifications, these 3 core certifications, they do not cover those perspectives. But yes, the newly introduced certifications, which are specialized certifications in Agile, cybersecurity, and data analytics, they are covering the business analysis perspectives in detail. So here I have included the details about the core certifications only, because we are talking about the business analysis trainings and certifications. So here there are 3 certifications. You need to understand the requirements of these 3 certifications. If someone is very junior in this business analysis field and just want to have an entry level certificate, this ECBA is meant for those individuals. But those of you who are experienced, who have almost 7 years of experience and have completed at least 3,750 hours of business analysis work in your professional experience so far, this CCBA certification is for you. And even if you are senior than this 7 years and 3,750 hours of working, you have 7,500 hours of business analysis work experience, and you have an experience of more than 10 years, then you can go for this CBAP certification. So at this stage, we need to be very clear that which particular certification you are thinking about. If you are a fresh graduate, or if you are an entry-level individual in the business analysis function, then probably CBAP is not the right certification for you. You are not you cannot go for this certification. Rather, you would go for ECBA. But if you have 7 years of experience in business analysis and consisting of 3,750 work hours, then then you can go for CCBA. But yes, if you have 7,500 hours of work experience in business analysis consisting of around 10 years of experience, then the CBAP certification is for you. The CBAP certification, it is Certified Business Analysis professional title, and this is primarily a formal examination based certification. And for this particular certification, you need to have you need to have a segregation of 900 hours in 4 knowledge areas out of the 6 knowledge areas given by BABOK. And in order to qualify for this CBAP certification, you have to submit at least 35 hours of professional development training certificates as well. Then you have to provide 2 references from a career manager, client, or the CBAP recipient in order to qualify for this certification. And of course, the IIBA does provide a code of conduct, the terms and conditions, which are to be agreed before you are awarded the formal certification. The exam details, those of you who are willing to go for this CBAP exam must understand that this is an online exam. Now they have recently started this online proctoring model as well, which is much easier as compared to the other model, to the previous model. Now you can go for this online exam, which will be a 3.5 hours exam consisting of 120 MCQs, which will be scenario and case study based, and and all the questions, they will be from BABOK Guide version 3, which we have just discussed. And the 6 knowledge areas, the distribution of the questions, they have also been elaborated by IIBA itself. These are the 6 knowledge areas, and you should expect at least 14% questions out of 120 from business analysis, planning and monitoring, 12% from elicitation and collaboration, 15% from requirements lifecycle management, 15% from strategy analysis, 30% from requirements analysis and design definition, and 14% from solution evaluation. So it means that while studying the BABOK and preparing for the exam, you have to consider the weightage of these questions so that you can spare your time accordingly to these specific knowledge areas. Now, this is the exam fee. It offers the IIBA offers memberships as well. So, there are some obvious advantages, benefits of being a member. You get some discounts. You get a lot of study material. You get connected to the international business analyst community, etc., etc. So, so if you go for the membership, it's always good for you to get some monetary benefit as well. But this schedule, it describes the details for the members as well as for the non-members, and these details, they have been copied from their website, so all these details are available from the website as well. But if you are opting from any of the certifications starting from ECBA, CCBA or CBAP, there is going to be one application fee starting from $60 to $125. Then there are different examination fee for members as well as non-members and the corporate members. The minimum fee for the ECBA is $110, and for non-members it is $235. For CCBA it is $325 for members and $450 for non-members. For CBAP, $325 for members and $450 for members. It is the international fee which is directly charged by IIBA while you register yourself for the exam. So there is an online payment model available. So once you register yourself on the IIBA website and you start booking your exam, it will ask for all your credentials. It will ask you for making your user ID and your user account. Once you make your user account, you will start registering yourself for the exam. You will book the exam, and then you will pay the fee through their online payment model, which is usually through credit cards. Now, after the exam fee, there is an exam rewrite fee as well, that God forbid, if somebody attempts the exam or due to any XY reason is not able to appear in the exam on the day of the examination, then the exam rewrite fee also applies. The details are also available in front of you. So this is the examination fee schedule, which is available on their website as well, and and the entire procedure for registering for the exam and for booking the exam is also available on their website, which is www.iiba.org. Now, coming towards the last discussion point, which is, should you do CBAP training and certification? Now, this is a very important slide from the perspective of understanding that, first of all, we have to be very clear that why we would like to go for this CBAP certification. What are the benefits that can be expected after doing this certification? You all understand that every certification has its own benefits, and nowadays this is the age of competition, and every person wants to go ahead of the other on the basis of merit, and this merit, besides the academic qualification, comes from the certifications as well. So like any other internationally reputable certifications, whether it is PMP, whether it is PRINCE2, whether it is ITIL, or any certification like COBIT, ISO 27001, CBAP is also one of the privileged certifications in the business analysis community these days, and obviously it has some career benefits. Obviously the work opportunities globally are growing for the certified business analyst. they have a long-term career benefits with multiple growth opportunities in industries like banks, in telcos, in software houses all over the world, whether it is Pakistan or whether it is not Pakistan. This CBAP certification, it gives you more knowledge about how to approach your business analysis work, and obviously it helps you to it helps increasing your capability and credibility in your business analyst team. It helps you to give instant access and recognition in a privileged global business analyst fraternity. As I said, that business analysis is a growing field, and many certified people, they are and many people, they are going for this business analysis certification as well. And this is fast becoming a privileged community worldwide as well. So once you get certified, then obviously you become a member of this privileged business analysis fraternity as well. And obviously there are some personal benefits which an individual can always gain after getting a certification, in terms of higher chances of promotion, in terms of gaining better monetary benefits, better salaries, better monetary incentives, etc., etc. So like any other certification, this CBAP also is about to give you many benefits in your personal careers as well as in your individual working domains. Now, if you want to achieve these benefits, obviously it has some cost. We need to be very clear that this CBAP, since it's a demanding and it's a fast growing certification nowadays on a global basis, so the training is also expensive and the certification cost is also expensive. Now, if you go for an international training, that is, you go for training in Dubai or Abu Dhabi, maybe in Europe or US, the international training fee, including the examination, will cost you from $1,600 to $2,000. Now, this is something that you should keep in mind while taking a decision on going for CBAP certification, which is offered by Business Beam. Our regular training fee is only $440, which we have further reduced to only $99 for first 10 participants. That is, if you are among the first 10 participants registering for this CBAP training, then this $440 fee would be reduced to $99 as a special discount, as a special offer for you for this online training. And if you add, and if in this $99 you add the certification examination fee, which for the members is $325, and for the non-members it is $450, then the minimum investment that you will be doing would be $424, and the maximum would be $549 even if you are a non-member. So if you compare this training fee along with the training fee which you will pay while you opt for an international training, then there is a huge difference. So this is something which we are offering as a special discount to our privileged audience, that if you opt for this training, then you can get it only for $99 for 10 participants, the first 10 participants, and even if you are the 11th, unfortunately, then it will cost you $440. So those of you who are willing to have this training, we would request to get the registrations as soon as possible, so that you can avail this amazing discount that we are offering to you. But having said this, I can very confidently tell you that please don't compare this price with the value that will be delivered to you during this training. Again, I'm repeating the very same thing, that since this is only a very brief session on the certification, on the concepts of business analysis, all this will be discussed in detail during the training, and it is a full-fledged training consisting of 4 training days. The value that would be delivered to this training will be much higher than the cost or the investment that you are making. This training is going to help you in preparing the exam, and not only with the help of the lecture and the presentation, but also with the help of the quizzes, with the help of the workshops, with the help of the group discussions that would be held, and obviously with the help of the different experiences that the audience would be sharing throughout the course of the 4 days training. So this training is not going to be a theoretical training that the trainer would come and would just go through the slides and then give you some homework. No, it is going to be a very comprehensive training. That is, it will consist of of course, the lectures and the presentations based on BABOK version 3, which will help you to understand the knowledge areas and all the other extended sections of the BABOK as well. It will help you to understand that how the knowledge areas they have been described and mapped with the tasks will help you to understand that how these tasks have been mapped with the activities. So it is going to be a very comprehensive discussion with the help of presentation and the lecture. Then there will be exam preparation quizzes and workshops, an essential part of this training. And then we will be discussing some hands-on experiences, some examples, some real-time examples, like some of you who, if somebody is working in a business analyst role in their organizations, we can take it as a real-time example, and we can apply the concepts of BABOK on that particular function or that particular example. And this way, this is going to be a very interactive session. And this is for sure that this interaction and this discussion would help the participants not only in understanding the BABOK, but also for preparing the exam as well. But this is also important to understand that this training is not a 100% substitute of the self-study. Since it is an extensive certification and kind of a difficult certification in terms of the exam as well. So the trainees, the candidates, they need to understand that in addition to the training, you will have to do a lot of self-study as well. I usually recommend my participants to go through the BABOK at least 3 times before attempting the exam, at least 3 times. Concentrate on the knowledge areas, their mapping with the task, and its further mapping with the techniques. Do a lot of sample quiz work, and that is some samples. Many of the samples are available online as well. While we will also provide you the sample exam during the training as well. To practice a lot of sample questions, and then obviously do this kind of work before attempting the exam. So this is something that needs to be kept in mind, that this is one of the difficult certifications, and the exam is not that easy as well. It's a 3.5 hours exam consisting of 120 multiple choice questions, scenario based questions, case study based questions. So you can have a good idea about it, that it's not that easy that usually the people think about it. Having said all this, I come to the end of my presentation. At least I have completed my part. Now I would request, if any one of you want to ask any question, please feel free to talk to me.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I just want to know the exam thing you were saying. Are you guys gonna register for us and then gonna organize exam like that, or?
Okay. Thank you for your question. It's an important one. No.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we will not have any role in exam registration process. It's actually an individual responsibility. First of all, you will register for the exam by getting yourself registered on their website, www.iiba.org, and then the exam registration process will be conducted by yourself. So the payment, the exam registration, the exam booking will be done by the candidate, him or herself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay. Any other question, please? Okay.
Hi, I wanted to know about the number of practice tests that you would be providing us. Would you be providing us with something like that?
Yes, another important question. Actually, we have designed our courseware in a way that we will give you a manual that would consist of the slides of the presentation that the trainer will be delivering. Then after each chapter, this presentation will be divided in different chapters. After each chapter, there will be a set of questions, a quiz. Will be consisting of 10 to 15 questions, and And this in addition to these questions, there will be some workshops as well. So there will be one manual consisting of the presentation, and then another manual consisting of the quiz and the workshops, right? So this will actually help you in preparing for the exam. And this courseware is designed on the basis of the latest version of BABOK, which is version 3. So be rest assured that whatever is being provided to you is latest and is based on the current version of the BABOK. Okay, any other question, please? Fine. Should I assume that there are no more questions? Okay. Fine. Okay, with this, we come to the end of our session. On behalf of Business Beam, I would like to thank each one of you for sparing time and for attending this session. And we are looking forward to hear from you and looking forward to welcome you to our upcoming training session. Let me remind you that our CBAP session is scheduled from from 15th to 18th of June. The registrations, they are already open. Our business development team, it is already in contact with you. It will further coordinate with you. If you are interested in the training, you are most welcome. And we are looking forward to see you all in the training, inshallah. Thank you very much for joining, and time to sign off the session. Thank you. Take care and have a nice day. Thank you.